So this is the recap for live stream 352, I believe. And today has been, well, today was a short trading day because I'm trying to focus on things away from trading that I've been neglecting. So let's have a look at the trades. It's pretty short, it's condensed, and price action was more favorable to me. And we can see we did have a positive outcome. So we did see yesterday we did have a very constricted market, and usually with a constricted range in market you normally have a breakout at some point. Normally it's an accumulation day and you'll have a breakout. Now do have on the economic calendar, we do have what I believe is, it isn't in terms of earnings, it's in terms of we have FOMC minutes coming out. I suppose we got Home Depot, but we had building permits came in a bit slightly less than forecast, and we also had the housing starts coming in higher than forecast. But we do have the FOMC minutes due on Wednesday, so there's a little bit of caution on my part, thinking that today could be a carryover from yesterday, and we'll have the constriction in terms of price action today as well. Well, that wasn't the case. Had a market breakdown. We had a market breakdown at the start of the day. As the time we came into the market around 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, we did have the market set up right here. Now, let's have a look at gold first, because we normally start from right to left. So let's have a look at gold. Over on gold, did see what appeared to be a bit of volatility, but if we were to measure out the range on gold, it wasn't an extraordinary range by any sense. We're looking at about $25 worth of range. It's not particularly large, slightly smaller than normal. Did have a setup here to the downside, to the short side, was below the pre-market lows here. And we took the short, and market came back a bit, so we added to the position. So did we? I believe so, yep, because due to the size of the account before, I couldn't go into the contract, go in full size. Added to the position, was up to full size, and the target was hit, and we've seen that further sell off down to the downside here, make it down to the 358.7s. Won't be here for it. So we'll have a look over at ES. Over on ES now, this is where we're talking about the equities and the constriction. Sort of constricted range in price action yesterday. Wasn't a great day overall. Had a very bad day in terms of trading, but came in. Market had a bit of volatility off the open, brief rally. Did see a fair degree of selling here from the highs. We're looking at about 37, the entire day's range. I think the entire day's range at the time was about 38.25. So sort of day's range from the highs down all the way down to the lows before I got to the market at 11:30. Did have one setup here, went short, was a bit concerned about the 42.25s, went short, and went short twice, doubled the normal size due to what I did yesterday when I was losing, where I doubled my normal size. So I thought, well, let's do the same again today, because if today's going to be a good day, somebody would mitigate some of the losses from yesterday. That was the case. I went short, and the target was hit all the way down here. All the contracts were filled. Finally, we'll have a look at our friends over at NQ. Again, constriction in prices. Had a breakout at the start of the day, unlike ES, where we had the rally to the upside. Instead, we saw more selling to the downside in regards to NQ. Relative strength wise, it certainly was weaker, seeing a 256 point sell off the open. Came into the market, couldn't take that setup right there. Got a true setup right here, and let's see what we did with this. So we took the first entry right there at 62.75. We added to the position, so it was in full size. And what did we do here? Okay, so as prices was holding on, just contracting a fair bit here, what we did was didn't like the price action, so we decided that what we'll do is we'll take profits 50% of the way to our designed target, down at I believe it was 46.50. So we took profits at 54, and what we do is re-entry and look to take profits again in order to mitigate the fact that the market may not want to go and revisit the lows. So went short again as prices came up, entered around 63, slightly above the average entry around 62.75. Now I placed a scale out of half the contracts, pretty much just over halfway towards where the stop was, sitting at around the 91s. Prices, so the stop was around 77.75. The price came all the way up to 77.75 to the exact tick. We can see on the top, in the middle of the screen here, we can see the highs just right there. And we can see the high of the candle was 77.75. So the price came up to the tick, ticked me out, closed half the position, then turned around. So placed a stop order to sell down where the average entry was around the 62.75s. And because of the stop order, there's going to be some slippage with the amount of contracts I'm trading. Got in there and trying to get in. Got in around 62.25. Market starting going to the downside. And I was a bit concerned about it going all the way down to the 46. So took it off all the way at 52. And of course, the market went all the way through the 46s and beyond, all the way down here to the 15. So certainly left some profits on the table there, not following through on the plan. So this scale out cost me in terms of realizing a loss and closing the position early there, not realizing all of the profits that were on the table. We can have a look here at our trading, and we can see we started the day. Today was the 20th. No, the 19th. Yeah, the 19th. And let's... There we go. That's better. So on the 19th, we can see we started out the gates with a short on the ES. We picked up 63.750, picked up 35. Trading was going really well at this point. The scale out loss on NQ to the tick at 77.75. That was very annoying. Closing the position early there on NQ at 41.5, and gold eventually going on to hit its target down there at 64.4. Those are pretty much the trades I took today. And so we'll have a look at the trade performance. We'll have a look at trade performance here. Over in trade performance, we can see you only took 5 trades, and the total P&L is 139,550. 4 winners, the one loser. The one loser was at scale out on NQ. We have 80% win percentage. The average win is 43,687.50. The average loss is 29,500. Certainly favorable average win to average loss. We can see here on NQ 38,250 for the average win, 29,500 for the average loss. So do like to see that with the higher accuracy around 67%. Overall, though, we can see one trade on ES for 63,750. That's what we like to see. 100% accuracy. Same scenario over on gold. One trade, 34.5, 100% accuracy, and there's the average win. So when the strategy works, it works well. There are occasions where my interference does cost me. We did mention that in this recap, especially in terms of not allowing this trade in particular to go down to take profits. Now, the scale outs, there are going to be occasions where I'm going to scale out and the market's going to reverse. It's going to save me in terms of P&L. I'm not that disappointed there, but certainly not allowing this trade here to go on to take profit. It's something I'm going to have to look at. Need to trust this strategy a bit more, but usually after a losing day, sometimes you start to second guess yourself a little bit and your strategy, especially if you've had long periods where trading has not been going in your way, not going your way. So I think that covers everything. Now, with that said, thanks for watching. Good luck trading. Have a great day.